Hello and welcome to English 1180. My name is Professor Laura Gabriel. I will be your instructor this semester. We have a short 8-week course entirely online. I just wanted to walk you through a few pieces of this course just so that you could acclimate yourselves and kind of prepare for the layout of the course and what's ahead as we move through it. So just remember, as you log in, you're going to notice that the top reminds you that this is entirely online. You'll complete all of your assignments, and these are aimed at improving your writing skills. You're going to end with an argumentative paper, but we'll work our way up to that with a narrative, compare contrast paper, a visual definition, and some other assignments as we move through, just reintroducing ourselves to some of those writing skills that maybe you used a lot during high school, but are needing to revisit now for whatever reason, or you're working on some of those gen ed credits as you move to a four-year university. Whatever your reason for being in the class is, this is our goal, to just kind of get ourselves back into the mode of writing and think of what writing looks like in an academic setting. All right, so in this first part, you'll see the course resources. Those will stay here all semester. They'll be at the top of the page. Of course, you'll be watching this welcome video. You'll notice that you have the course syllabus, the grading criteria for the discussion forums, how the percentages of the assignments break down individually, because you'll notice in the syllabus they're grouped according to the project. So you'll see that, for example, project number 1 is worth 11% of your grade, but within that, your rough draft and final copy each weigh a separate amount of points. Sometimes it's good to know when you've got assignments due on the same evening and you might not be able to finish them all, which one weighs more, so you can make a choice that's going to benefit your grade. We've got some citation information that really isn't going to come into play until we get to the last paper of the semester. All of the papers will be told from your perspective. That's project number 1, project number 2, and the visual definition. And then when we get to that final paper for the semester, you'll be able to add some outside source information. But, just again, remember, this is a beginning. This is a Communications 1 or Composition 1 course. We're really delving into getting back into writing, and that writing should entirely be your original work, not citing any sources until that last paper. And I can't stress that enough, but we'll come back to it each time we introduce a new project. These are your grading criteria for the projects. You've got McComb's grading scheme, and these are really important 3 times throughout the semester for project 1, 2, and 3. When you're in the draft phase, I'm giving you feedback on that via a screencast, much like what you're watching right now, where you'll see your paper on the screen and you'll hear my voice walking you through corrections that corrections and suggestions based on what I'm seeing in the paper as a whole. So how to get to those is an important part of the course, and I'm going to show you that in just a minute. So let's go over to the syllabus, and each time you're going to have to double click so you open it in another window, but your syllabus is laid out for you. All of my information is up at the top, as well as how to get a hold of me. Our textbook is an open education resource, meaning that you do not have to purchase a text for this semester. Everything will be found just by clicking on the Let's Get Writing link. This lays out how important it is for you to be responsible this semester, in the sense that I know things happen, like internet issues or device issues, but it's your responsibility to work around that. So you will need to, if your Wi-Fi goes out, you need to get to a McDonald's or somewhere that has free Wi-Fi so you can participate in the class. If your device is broken, you need to get to a public library that has computers available, or the Macomb Library. So just keep in mind, that's important. An important aspect of the course. You really need to be responsible for that end of it. of course, your classroom conduct and expected behavior. But remember, staying abreast of all of the online activities. You have certain assignments that are due at the it's sometimes staggered due dates or at the end of the week, and you want to make sure that you're keeping up with that. If I notice that you haven't been present at all, meaning basically that you haven't participated in any of the assignments for the week, I will contact you. But you want to take the initiative to do that. You've got some course outcomes and objectives. I'll let you read through those in the description of the course. You'll notice that every week is set up the same, and I'll walk you through that in just a minute. There will always be a weekly video just like this one that introduces you to the activities and assignments for the week. There will be a read section for most weeks, a review. The review section is really where you would see the types of handouts you would get in a face-to-face class. So you'll be able to review those, look over what is required of you for that week. And then the due section is what you have that you need to submit. And again, the due dates are sometimes staggered, often towards the end of the week, but you'll want to be aware of those due dates, and I'll show you, of course, how to locate those within Canvas if you haven't been in a class online before. All right, and like I said, weeks 1 through 8 are pretty much set up the same way every single week, and they're mimicked in Canvas, which I'll show you as well. You want to participate actively, but again, for an online class, that means that you're turning in assignments when they're due. That shows your active participation. You want to remember what academic integrity entails as defined by Macomb. That means, again, that your work must be original. It cannot use another person's exact words without a citation. It cannot use AI to generate or complete assignments. And all of the topics have a personal element to them, so they should be easy for you to write from your own perspective. And that's going to be an important theme we carry through the entire course. Of course, you want to know the consequences if you do breach academic honesty, and be aware that you could need to resubmit the assignment. You might receive a 0 on the assignment, or you could fail the course. So you want to be aware of those. This lays out, when you can expect me to communicate with you. Definitely, if you email me, whether it's through the Canvas inbox or through the Macomb email, you should expect a response within 24 hours. Most assignments, you'll note, will be graded within the week that you've submitted them. Some of the longer projects take me a little bit longer, but I do try to keep up with and get you feedback and grades as soon as possible. Late policy, you're allowed 2 late assignments for the entire semester. Remember that the forums have their own rubric because they are designed to be interactive. So if you don't participate in a forum, within 6 hours, your classmates aren't looking for responses anymore. So your grade is reduced then, and then it becomes a 0, shortly thereafter. And again, because they are meant to be interactive. This is Macomb's grading scale. As I told you, two places you can see that point distribution where you can understand, how the individual assignments break down within the larger scope of how much that particular project, for example, is weighted in your overall grade. And then you've got some educational assistance, more or less, that's offered by Macomb for all students. So you want to read through these various opportunities if you need them. And as I said, just keep in mind what will make you successful in the course and how I plan to interact with you. And I've kind of spelled that out. I will respond to emails as quickly as possible. Definitely you'll receive feedback and or a final grade on assignments, usually within the week that you've submitted that assignment. All right. And always, if you have questions about things, definitely, you'll want to let me know. All right. As we go back to, as I said, look through the grading rubric for the discussion forums, know what will get you a 15 out of 15 and how that breaks down, as points are taken away. We've talked about that distribution of individual assignments. You've got all of the project criteria here. So Again, if you're wondering what you'll be graded on for rough draft number 1, you can click on that rubric and you'll be able to see, all of the rubrics are there for you to look through as you begin to draft your projects. All right, let's look at this for just a minute. When you get feedback from me, what I want you to remember is you can go to the grades menu. It's on the left hand side. And then once you get into grades, you can see that for a particular assignment, you'll see some comments here. When you click on those, you'll notice that there's a comment. And in that comment, what will happen for all of you is you will see a link to a Google video. Basically I've uploaded into Google a screencast video. So you'll see a link to Google, and that will open into basically, like I said, a video just like this, but in that video will be your paper and my comments on the paper. They're about 5-6 minutes long, sometimes shorter, sometimes a little longer, just depending. But again, go to grades, go to your assignment. Once you open that assignment, you're going to see those comments and you'll see that link. Unfortunately, within Canvas, it's going to entail that you copy and paste that link into a browser, but you'll, have that video to guide your revisions. I walk you through always at least one paragraph as far as mechanics and the content for the other one. So please take the time to do that. It's an important part of the feedback process and guiding you in becoming better as a college level writer. And then I just gave you another image that shows you that same thing, but how to get to those. If you ever have questions or you think, I can't find this video, can you help me? I will definitely guide you. I'll paste the link in an email response and I'll walk you through how to get there. All right. What you're going to notice is, like I said, just like the syllabus, you'll have your video, you'll have your reading assignments. When you open your reading assignments, you'll see that I've linked each time your textbook and I've told you what you should read. You also, because you have a grammar and usage component to this course, whatever you're working on with grammar or whatever you're working on with writing is laid out for you, either in the chapters really and or in a short PowerPoint. In this case, the short PowerPoint, sorry, it's run over a little bit because of the way I've cropped the screen, but it'll walk you through either the assignment or the grammar for that week, or sometimes both. So you've got some reading, you've got some additional information via a PowerPoint. So that should, of course, guide you. I think they're all Google Slides. I don't know why I said PowerPoint, but you get the general idea. This will be the handout for the week. And you'll see that, some weeks the review is to just find those screencast comments, play them, and then once you've watched them, start to make your revisions to that project. And then these are your due, the things that you need to submit. And you'll notice down here below, you have the due date. Sometimes it's staggered. The next week, they're not all due on Sunday. You have something due on Friday too. So you'll want to pay attention to those. But I do send weekly reminders so that you'll be able to know on Sunday what's due, that day, just to remind you, but also what's due the next week and on which days. So that just kind of gives you an overview of the course. As I said, is you find that you're having questions or there's things that you might need more clarification on, always feel free to reach out. You can always use this inbox in Canvas. It'll go right to me. It populates in Canvas, but it also populates in my Macomb email. So I'm looking for those questions and responding as quickly as possible. I look forward to working with all of you this semester. It's going to be short, but very, very productive. So we'll enjoy our short 8 weeks together.